What's up, guys? I mentioned in my last chapter review that I'm going to be going over the leaks and reviewing the final JJK chapter since it's ending, and even though normally I'm against leaks, I just said, oh well, since I'm not going to be able to avoid these spoilers. Anyway, so I'll jump straight into it. This week's chapter title is Conclusion, for obvious reasons. We're at the end of the battle. The chapter starts off with Sukuna talking to Megami from inside the inner domain that we saw Yuji enter, and he's talking down to Megami. He says, "How dare you try to live on? You let your body be taken over, you killed your own sister, and you even rejected the hand that was offered to you." Talking about when Yuji attempted to save him before. He tells Megami to just give up. You can no longer live a proper life anyway. Just stay quiet and let me handle the rest. He's basically asking why Megami is even bothering to try and resist after laying dormant for so long. To Sukuna, it's far too late and there's no point in fighting back, but this could also be Sukuna's last-ditch effort to try and keep control of the body. It looks like Sukuna is fading away here, either because of the damage he's taking and it's showing that his form is dissolving, or maybe it could just be Sukuna taking his exit, as in leaving the conversation. But Megami asks, why are you so desperate? There's still one finger left out there, and if the process to become a cursed object is predetermined, then he will die here if peeled away by Yuji. The translation's a bit rough, so this doesn't really make a lot of sense to me personally, but let me know if you understand, or we can wait for the better translations later. Megami tells Sukuna he knows that resonance isn't good for him. If the 19 fingers are destroyed or vanish, then that last finger won't be enough to reconnect his soul, meaning if he's beaten here, then he's really cooked. That last finger is not enough to revive him anymore. Megami tells Sukuna he's relieved to know that he's distraught. He's happy to see that Sukuna is afraid of dying. Megami goes on to tell Sukuna that he never even intended to live a proper life from the get-go. He tells Sukuna that there's so many other people out there in the world and that from now on, he'll try to live on for someone else again, the way he did for his sister before. After the scene with Megami and Sukuna, it cuts back to Yuji and Sukuna, and the domain is falling apart after Yuji's black flash sends Sukuna flying, and you can see Sukuna's hair is starting to change color to show that he's losing the hold on the body. Sukuna is reduced to a pile of cursed flesh and is stripped from Megami, sort of like a symbiote suit. It's kind of like how I thought it would happen. Originally, I thought Megami would just kind of slip away out of Sukuna's shadow, but this feels kind of like Venom jumping off of a host in Spider-Man or something, and Sukuna apparently screams while being torn away. As Sukuna lays there on the ground, a pile of cursed, putty flesh, Yuji walks over and looks down at him. Sukuna looks pathetic. Yuji asks Sukuna what he will do, and it's just a reference to his previous offer earlier when he offered to let Sukuna live on inside him if he released Megami. But, now he's at that point, and Yuji is still holding on to that offer. He kneels down to grab Sukuna again, like I said, a pile of putty flesh on the ground, and we see the return of Yuji's "you're me," but this time it's to Sukuna. Yuji scoops up what's left of Sukuna, and he still has a soft spot. He tells Sukuna he was born bearing a curse and didn't know it. He reflects on what his life would have been and how he could have turned out far worse if it weren't for the great people in his life like his grandfather. Yuji says, let's try this again, not to curse someone, but to live with someone. He says, even if nobody else will accept you, I alone can live on with you. Yuji showing Sukuna mercy after showing him pity before, and Sukuna hasn't said a word to him up until this point. But Sukuna is pissed at Yuji showing him compassion and says, I'll commend you for playing the fool to this extent, Yuji Itadori, but don't underestimate me. I am a curse. And there we have it. For the first time in the entire series, Sukuna calls Yuji by his actual name instead of boy or brat. He says this while his body is really nothing but just a small pebble at this point, and it's either like cursed energy fading away or it kind of looks like flames sizzling away. It's most likely cursed energy, but he's kind of dissipating. The last of his life is burning out. Here, the scene changes over again to Uraume and Hikari. Uraume can tell that Sukuna lost the fight, and Hikari asks what their plans are now that this is all over, and Uraume says that they already told him. It's the end. There's no meaning to anything anymore. The only logical reason for Sukuna's defeat was because he was in an incarnated body. You guys were all just lucky and saved by being born 1,000 years too late. I think it's really funny and also sort of fitting that Uraume was the one who was salty and trash talking in the end. Sukuna isn't shown going out whining or crying or ever begging for his life or anything. He still curses towards Yuji and tells him not to underestimate him, but Uraume, is like, you guys only got lucky, that's why you won. It's kind of funny. They were really his cheerleader until the very end, telling Hikari, you guys were just lucky. And of course, Hikari takes this in stride. I was lucky, huh? That's the highest praise I could ever receive, since he's the lucky guy. Uraume's body crumbles away, and I can't believe I called this a while back, but I tweeted about it saying that Uraume would just end up killing themselves whenever Sukuna died or lost a fight, and they felt his presence vanish because Uraume just wouldn't be able to live in a world world without Sukuna, or, just couldn't bear the thought of him dying or losing. And here we have it. Sukuna loses and is dying on the way out, and Urume exits stage left immediately without actually being defeated. Cut again to a new scene, and Megami wakes up in a large bed only to look ahead and see the two boneheads, Nobara and Yuji. He asks what the hell are they doing, because Nobara is trying to get into this giant cardboard box, and Yuji looks like he was trying to help her fit in before Megami could wake up so they could surprise him the same way Yuji did when he popped out of the box after, dying and coming back to life. They call it the Kugisaki Survival Surprise. The name will probably change in the officials. And Megami apologizes for not reacting the way they would have liked. She calls herself the class Madonna that everyone thought was dead, but was actually alive. Hey, shouldn't you guys be excited? So excited that you piss yourself or cry in happiness? Megami's face here is really funny because he looks, to him, it looks just like a regular day. He's just at Tropical Smoothie with his two annoying friends. He does not look like he just woke up, or, he doesn't look like he got saved or is seeing his friend that he thought was dead for 2 months or anything. It's just a regular day with these two annoying guys. Yuji mentions that he did shed some tears himself when he saw the resonance fire off, and Megami says the surprise was ruined for him basically because he saw the resonance go off while he was inside Sukuna. So that's why his reaction wasn't grand. It looks like they have letters from Gojo. They have Gojo's face drawn on them. Yuji says Shoko gave them the letters, and Megami is surprised that Gojo wrote a letter, and Nobara agrees, saying it's totally not like him. It's actually disgusting to even imagine Gojo writing at all. There's only 2 letters though. Megami notices this, and Yuji says that he didn't get a letter since he actually got to speak to Gojo himself before he was defeated. Nobara reads her letter, and then she just instantly balls it up. Apparently it had information about her mother's whereabouts. She doesn't care, and Yuji asks if she ever even wanted to know in the first place, and she said nope, not at all. Seems that Gojo was being nosy and found her mom without asking. Megami reads his letter, and this part's weird, but Nobara asks if he got a special grade authority. I'm guessing that's supposed to be asking if he got recommended for special grade or something, and Megami just laughs while reading his letter. This makes Yuji and Nobara even more curious about what it says, and they read it and they can't believe what they see. Megami lets out probably the first laugh we ever see from him in the entire series, and it's because his letter just tells him that his dad isn't around because Gojo killed him. I guess Gojo wanted to address Megami and Nobara's families in these letters, and it didn't need to happen for Yuji because we already know Kenjaku was his mom basically. Nobara heads off saying we all have to go and meet Maki and the others, and tells Megami to come along. Yuji says, oh yeah, I gotta go and say sorry to everybody and thank them. Megami doesn't know why, but Yuji tells him it's about Yuta. I guess Megami was questioning, what the deal is, where are we going? Megami didn't get the message maybe about Yuta being into Gojo's body or something. I don't know. We'll see soon when it's, when it's out and official. Yuji says they have to save Yuta's life. And we see Maki along with Inumaki and Panda, who is still small and cute, Miwa, Momo, and my goat Kusakabe, who I knew wasn't dead, so to hell with all you Sukuna Cycle guys. Someone screams, Yuta, you bastard. They're thinking it's Maki, but it's unclear for now. And Yuji, Megami, and Nobara hear it, and they're worried if this is what saving Yuta should sound like. People yelling and saying, wake the hell up, Yuta, stuff like that. That brings us to the end of the chapter, and there's an editor's note about Yuta wondering if he'll be alright for the next chapter. There's only 3 chapters left, and Jujutsu Kaisen will actually be on break next week. I'm betting Yuta will survive in the end, but I want to know what ended up happening with Sukuna in the end, if Yuji did end up eating him again, and if so, was it by force, or did Sukuna agree to it? Honestly, can't see Sukuna caving and deciding to stay alive. I think that would kind of go against his entire character, besides him being a parasite. But that's going to be it for this video, man. Let me know what you think. If you're someone who's been following the channel for a while and wondering why on earth am I covering leaks, hey man, don't ask no questions or judge me for the next month. Rent's due, baby. I got bills to pay, and there ain't no way I'd be able to avoid the spoilers anyway. So if you like the video, hit the like, you know what to do. Subscribe and be ready for more videos like it coming soon, and I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for watching.